Hi bird friends, it's time for Avian First Aid, Episode 5. Today Dr. Gordy's going to talk about catching your bird. Yeah, she's going to talk about catching your bird. He doesn't like that. Yeah, we know about that, eh? You don't like that. He knows what towels are.
Catching your bird. In a bird that is stressed because it is having some kind of emergency situation happening, they may not respond to the normal commands. It's still useful to have taught them step up, step down, because if you can catch a bird with the least stress that is having some kind of emergency, that is certainly going to be easier on them. But if you can't, what you'll probably need to do is towel your birds. Now, if you've prepared your bird and they're used to towels and not too afraid of them, that's good. Some birds, toweling in a situation with their owner in the bathroom with their favorite towel that they like is never going to be the same as, you know, somebody who's a little stressed trying to catch them when they're not feeling well. With small birds, finches, canaries, you want to be fairly quick, because if they get stressed, their heart rates can get going so quickly that they can have a heart attack. So have everything you think you want to have ready to do ready. Don't be holding the bird and running around looking for things. And when you're holding them, assess them as you're going along at how well you think that they are handling this. If the bird you're holding is starting to close his eyes and not struggle anymore, you may want to put him down for a minute and finish the rest of what you're doing later, because they could die in your hand. When you towel a bird, and we're going to do a demo with our demo birds, and then I think we're going to do real bird, right? That's going to be challenging. So what you want to do when you're catching your bird is, if you possibly can, do it in an area where the bird isn't going to injure itself further. You don't want to have other pets who are all excited and running around because you're all freaked out about your bird, and now you go to catch your bird and it flies down and your dog bites it, and now you have an additional problem. So try and choose an area reasonably quickly where the bird isn't going to get injured. Turn off ceiling fans. If they hit a ceiling fan, you have another problem. Don't try and do it in the kitchen where there's hot stoves, open pots of things that they can fly into. If you have windows, lower the blinds, because if they get afraid and hit a window, that's another problem. So the ideal place would be a small room with nothing else in it, nothing they could fly onto and grab. Now that's in an ideal world. You know what your house is like. Choose your best situation, but try and avoid creating an additional problem because you didn't notice what else was going on. Oh, flying into open toilets and drowning, another thing that can happen. A dark room is better than a super bright room, but especially for catching really little birds. If you have a budgie or canary and you can move it to a bathroom where you can close the door and it's dark, their night vision is very poor compared to ours. So if you go in a dark bathroom, open the door just a crack and stand so that the door's here, lights here, birds here, you're here, then you can see through the cage, see the bird, and you can often catch them and get them out of their cage or unhooked from their toy without them getting scared and flying all around and banging into things. So in a large bird, that may not be possible because you may not be able to move them to that area, but with small birds it works quite well. When you choose your towel, you want to try and choose a towel that is the right size for the bird. Like for this bird, this would not be a big enough towel because it's not going to go all the way around. You're not going to get it all the way around this bird. The other thing you should do is choose a color that is boring. Birds get more excited and or nervous with bright colors. So bright red, bright yellow, bright orange is not a good color to choose because that makes them more anxious. Boring beige, off-white, gray, or a color that is similar to the bird's color. So in blue, if you had like a lightish green, that would be okay. But I find that they're the least stressed by boring colors. Now, certain birds hate certain colors, and occasionally clients will tell me that, and you'll know that about your bird. But if you're choosing in a pinch, choose a color that is not bright or exciting at all. When you're catching small birds, you may want to use a dish towel. For you men who don't do dishes, this is a dish towel. It doesn't have any pile on it, and the really small birds can get their nails hooked in the loops of the terry towel. In a large bird, their nails are too big and that won't happen. But in a small bird, they can hook them in the loops of terry. So in a small bird, this type is a better choice. So you choose your size, you choose your color, and then what you want to do, and choose your area to make it perfectly safe. The best place to get a bird is on the floor. And the reason is that if they're on the floor, they're not as likely to fly into something and break a blood feather, break a toe, do more damage. I don't generally like taking them off people, and that's really more for the human safety than the bird, because many birds are sitting on the owner and you go to towel them, they reach down and grab on to hang on to the owner, or they grab an ear. So the ideal situation is to not have them on the owner. Occasionally that's not possible, but
that's it for episode 5. We'll see you next time. Ciao. Yo.